So if you're sitting there listening and watching, or you were a support of us in any capacity over the last year, look what we did. Look what we did. All right, and so we're gonna play a quick video to show the celebration of the repeal of the Walking While Trans Ban.
Brad Holloman.
Thank you, TS. Thank you. It's so good to be here taking this step today. And we are the first state legislature in the country to repeal this discriminatory statute. Everyone here who has worked so hard, who has pressed the case up here in Albany, the press conferences, the meeting with legislators, your pain and frustration into policy change. I gotta shout out the amazing movement that spread across the city and country over the summer that I think really triggered another wave of activism when those 15,000 New Yorkers demonstrated outside of the Brooklyn Museum and chanted that Black trans life mattered. We heard you, and my colleagues heard you. Biani Garcia, Kiara St. James, who's a force with NITAG, Norma Arreo, Shauna Brooks, of course, Melania, and Laylene's memory.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. So now I can officially say the Walking While Trans, the Learning for the Purpose of Prostitution, Penal Code 240.37 is officially repealed, and individuals can get their records expunged. And up to date, there has been over 800 massage parlors and unlicensed massage parlors that got their cases dismissed. And there's been over 9,000 human individuals that was charged with this prostitution law, which was the Walking While Trans Ban, Learning for the Purpose of Prostitution, has been repealed, and dismissed. So, that's the work that we're doing over here in the decriminalization of sex work. The spearheaded that victory.
So this was my theme from last year. Look at this. Woo!
You see?
Okay. And so then one of our demands was to the repeal of the Walking While Trans Ban. So we did that, y'all. We love to see it. Now, we're gonna keep it going.
Up next is my sister. I'm very, very honored and privileged and humble to be able to introduce Shauna Brooks. Shauna Brooks is the executive director, the CEO of Trans-E Media. Check out Trans-E Media. Go follow, like, and donate. Please go donate. Thank you so much, Shauna Brooks, for being able to come with us. And Shauna Brooks.
Hi, you guys. My name is Shauna Brooks. And as Candii said, we're a baby grassroots nonprofit organization called Trans-E Media. What inspired me to become Trans-E Media, because we have to hold these bigger tech companies accountable for implementing discriminative software, not allowing the user or the platform to thrive. Well, we have to stop that. We have to be attentive and aware to all of the people on the internet that could possibly face any type of discrimination due to algorithms, due to censorship, and that essentially must get back to a point where we can thrive without subjecting our human lives. Customer service, relations, we have to have some two-way form of communication as opposed to not having, a voice to be heard, and utilizing these spaces to get to a point where everyone can thrive. The customer, the user are able to get to a point where we can have communication with people directly in the spaces that we dwell in. And that's the accountability and the user engagement that we need from social media, from businesses to all of the people on the internet that could possibly face any type of discrimination due to algorithms, due to censorship, and basically simply being who you are existing. It's not just only me, but it's a team of us that is combating all of the gentrification and censorship, discrimination on the forefront of the internet. It's going on in the tech world and space world of, online media. And you can't have a conversation on these public matters without the implementation of these voices that walk these lives. So with that said, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Up next,
In Demand, which is a law that conflates client and trafficker. And we also demand an end to further discrimination of sex work on digital platforms during the COVID-19 pandemic, which eliminates another necessary source of income to survive. These are our demands. I think they're pretty reasonable demands.
yes, they're pretty
Reasonable demands. And
So I just wanted to give some little gifts to my co-organizers. First of all, SX, I just wanted to tell you about how you teach me about resilience and moving through conflict and confrontation and just growing out of that instead of allowing it to distract you. And that you're just constantly growing and learning and becoming a better person, and that we all need to be replicating that as well. And then Shauna Brooks, I wanted to tell you about how you teach me about the importance of light and levity, even through, our work and our struggle, and the importance of laughter. Because I feel like sometimes the purest form of like love is just laughing together about something really silly, like a joke or a meme. Also, of course, to our siblings and our comrades at Red Canary Song, y'all have taught me about just like the breadth of what mutual aid can mean and how it creatively shows up within our communities. TS Candii, you've taught me that we're not just marching in place, but we are actually making a movement. We're going places and we're making differences, and we are going to move mountains to get there. I've learned so many lessons through my relationships with Black and Asian sex workers and organizers, and just being in this practice of cross-racial and transnational Black and Asian solidarity.
we got some more programming for y'all.
Yes, I would like to introduce Ron Kim. He's a New York Assembly member who has been very much an ally in this fight. It came into action for this cause and has really committed himself to the decriminalization of sex work as an elected official following death and murder. Yang Song, a massage parlor worker, is at her workplace during an NYPD vice raid.
Hi, this is Assembly Member Ron Kim, he, him pronouns. I'm from Flushing, Queens, New York. I represent the 40th District in the State Assembly. I've been in office for going in my 5th term, serving my 9th year as a New York State representative. I've joined this space because people do not care. The system is set up to suppress workers as the top billionaires and the top big corporations exploit from the bottom. So this fight that you're taking on is the ultimate statement that the moment that we actually pay attention to and give sex workers the rights that they deserve, it is the moment that this country will actually start taking worker rights seriously. So many of my neighbors that live in my district that, to be honest, I didn't pay attention to enough. We have sex workers, migrant workers who are struggling to get by without any rights or protection by the society. I come to realize that there's no greater fight for worker rights than sex worker rights. That is why I'm here today with you, standing in full solidarity to make sure that we don't confuse the human trafficking, nonprofit, industrial, complex motives that are in it for, to take advantage of this movement. Our current governor, Kathy Hochul, who seemed to be leaning toward this space, but I don't think she reached out to the actual organizers and sex workers who are doing their hard work. I think just like many liberal politicians, they're only listening to the liberal elites who are telling them to go with the Nordic model, to play the savior role in this space instead of empowering the workers on the ground so they can have the tools to be part of our economy and part of our culture and part of our society. And that is the difference between what some of these elite savior models look like versus what the sex workers demand, which is 100% rights so they can be part of our society's fabric. We've obviously had some incremental progress. We repealed a statue, Walking While Trans statue, but even during that debate, when I try to address the larger problem, which is decriminalizing sex work, there were still many Democrats and liberals who looked the other way and who did not want to be aligned with this fight. And I hope that other groups and other advocates will join this movement and stand in solidarity to make sure that we will have sex work liberation once and for all. Thank you all for your time, and I look forward to your partnership and collaboration moving forward.
All right, so I'm going to transition us into the vigil portion where Esther K from Red Canary Song, which, as we mentioned, is this collective of organizers who practices mutual aid between Asian migrant and massage parlor and sex workers across New York, mainly